Hello everyone, this is Rebecca and welcome to my very first ever tier list. I'm quite excited because I enjoy watching these things and now I get to do my own. And as you can see from down here, what I've decided for the very first one is Subnautica, basically all of the fauna, tier list of all of the fauna from both Subnautica and Subnautica Beyond, below zero. So it's quite a big bunch of critters that we're going to get through, including, of course, all of the leviathans. I'm really excited. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun, and I should shout out to Froggy for creating this tier list here. I thought this was a good one because it also has the names of everything here, which makes it a little bit simpler for all of us, including me, because I know I won't remember the names of everything. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. And the only thing I've done here is I've set out, S tier, A plus, A, B, C, D. I actually, this didn't come with an A plus, but I've added an A plus in because I was imagining with this number of, there's about I think there's about probably 80 something, critters here. And I can imagine I'm going to get I'm gonna want a couple of extra sort of delineations of the higher tiers, right? I can just imagine that that's what I'm gonna do. So, for doing a tier list, how are we even thinking about rating things? I have had a bit of a think about this, because there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Are we just doing my favorite creatures? Are we doing, I don't know, what's going to be a bad rating? Is it the creatures that I sort of hated in game the most, i.e. gave me the most trouble? But that doesn't mean that they're sort of bad characters, if you get me. They might be excellent characters, but they might have, been very frustrating, or they might have given me a lot of trouble. Anyway, what I've decided to do is actually just relax about this. I'm going to really go on vibes. I'm just going to go this one top tier, this one perhaps just overall less impressive, and it might be for different reasons for everything. So yeah, we're just gonna go and maybe we'll kind of categories will emerge as we go. All right, so let's start at the start here. Ampiel. I'm gonna say very beautiful creature. Very, not dashing. No, it's not the most beautiful, but it's pretty cool. It's covered in, big lovely lights of electricity. It's very nice. I reckon for now I'm just gonna go B though, because I don't have any really strong feelings about Ampiel, but I think there's no way it's a C tier or a D tier. It probably, if I had another thing here, I'd probably put it in between these two, but no, I think B is the right place. I think B is the right place for Ampiel. Biter did give me a fair amount of trouble, but then again, not an enormous amount. Perfectly good creature. Nothing, I have no real complaints. Obviously, it does what it's meant to do. It bites you and scares, the crap out of you if you're me and you don't know what's happened. I didn't even know what was happening with this for a while. Definitely in places annoying, but I think it's doing what it's meant to do. For the time being, I'm also, I think you belong on B tier as well. I think you're kind of mid. Blighter, I'm gonna say it made less of an impression on me than Biter did. So I'm actually gonna put Blighter on C tier. I think I'm just gonna do that. Bone Shark, God, I feel like I'm going to be filling up B tier for the time being, but I'm kind of feeling for the time being maybe B tier, possibly even C tier for Bone Shark. I feel slightly bad about it because I think Bone Shark is a very good creature that's doing what it's meant to do, which is it's great. It's a great kind of little shark for particularly, the early kind of areas of below zero. I think it's performing its job well. It's one of the first things where you're like, oh, and it's kind of scary and it comes after you and everything like that. and genuinely, you know, becomes quite a pain in the ass, but is also easy enough to work around. So I just think I need to say, for Bone Shark, doing exactly what you need to do within the game, and in that regard, a perfectly designed character. I am possibly leaning towards a C just because of, I don't know, just because, like, design-wise, you know, a little bit more on the bland side for me. And also it does become a bit annoying a little bit later in Below Zero, when you sort of don't want to be, you know, dealing so much with the bone sharks. But I don't know if that's a reason for it to go on C tier. But I might hang it here for the time being, but I'm just gonna say it's on a little bit of probation for me. Crab Snake, definitely, I would say instantly this is A tier for me. I love Crab Snake. Not my favorite, but like a strong. I think this is one of the sort of the categories of decision making, right? For me, is creatures that are like exceptionally well designed, and so they make a really big impression on you, you know, and they're very kind of iconic. I would say the crab snack is the crab snack. You're just having a little snack of like a crab cake or something. I think the crab snake is for me, it's iconic. It's iconic. It made a huge impression on me, you know, in first game, in original Subnautica, and I would always remember it, you know. Over time, I could imagine myself maybe forgetting about Bone Shark. I'm so sorry to pick on you, Bone Shark. I will definitely forget about Blighter over time. I will never forget about Crab Snake. It could possibly even go up here. It could. I can't see myself S tier, but like everything about the Crab Snake is so good, right? It's really unique. It actually becomes something to, over time, a little bit comforting, you know, like I did not mind its presence. It just became like a really nice part of the ecology. It's in a great area. And like what I like is that we really get a sense for the actual, like you actually get a real sense, apart from just being told about it in the description, you get a real actual sense built into the design of the environment about what the life cycle and the life, and the lifestyle, let's say, you get a sense for what the crab snake's lifestyle is, you know. And I think, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. So for me, it's an A and maybe even an A+, but I'm going to put it here for the time being. Okay, a big one here, Crab Squid. It doesn't go here. I was just letting my finger rest for a second. Crab Squid is 100%. I kind of think for the time being, it's got to go A+. I think Crab Squid is the kind of thing I created this extra A+ tier for. Crab Squid is super iconic, unforgettable. It's such a good design, such a unique and strong, memorable design. Even visually, not even like how you actually interact with them in the game. That it is, you know, it's in the like the key promotional material for the game, right, of original Subnautica. I can't see it to S tier quite, but everything about it's amazing. Like, it scared the absolute living daylights out of me, and it needs to get a huge amount of points for that. You know, if I had an extra category here, I might even see it to going there. Like, it's upper A+. It's upper A+. Scary, like perfectly scary. And then even when you're over the initial kind of scare of the crab squid and you kind of understand them a lot better, still scary, like still actually thrilling to move around, you know? Like this thing is, it's strong. Crash Fish, it's at least A tier for me because of how iconic it is. And I feel like it gave me a lot of trouble in both games. But but it was always, it's a great addition. It's a great addition to both games. I'm glad Crashfish made it into both games. It deserves it. Crashfish is really, Crashfish is really iconic. Crashfish is really like one of the things I think of when I think of Subnautica. So it's at least A tier. It's at least A tier. I think, and I'm considering it for A+ as well. I'm considering it for A+. Crashfish. Oh, it's got so much good stuff going for it. It gave me one of my super early exciting moments in the game, which was finding sulfur. So thank you. Thank you for that. And like, just like the good times, the good thrilling times of Subnautica, right? Of going like, oh, like realizing that you're in an area with loads of crashfish and needing to run away really quickly. It's, I mean, we must give it points for its amazing sound. It's amazing sound. And also, God, I'm also just remembering, I think that was the time when I bred my first crashfish in an alien containment, and I think it ran away and exploded when I took it outside. Like, I don't know. This mighty, I think I might go A+ for crashfish. Don't know if that's a weird choice. Lava lizard? For me, it's a B or a C, and it's, again, it's doing what it needs to do. It's just, I think it's just, you know, I think like what we have to acknowledge is that going down here doesn't mean it's a badly designed character necessarily, because I think there's very few things I'm going to say that with. It's doing what it needs to do, which is that you simply cannot have a game that's full of top tier iconic creatures. It doesn't work. Like there need to be things that are sort of less iconic and a little bit more ordinary, you know, in order for the other things to stand out. But like that's just necessarily going to be a part of how you you know, how you experience the game. But that's what we're working with nevertheless, and I'm just really feeling Lava Lizard is probably a bit more of a C for me. Legitimately, you know, I just got to say it's doing its job well, but it's just less interesting to me, you know, visually and yeah, in terms of what it does. Mesmer, I feel pretty solidly Mesmer belongs in A tier. Mesmer is a great, stunning, interesting, like visually very spectacular. So huge points for that. Then the actual, not just even what it does, not just even what its kind of characteristic behavior is as a creature, but the fact that you have such an amazing, you get a really amazing game experience, you know, in-game experience out of Mesmer. And even after that, even though I was trying to stay the hell away from them most of the time, or all of the time rather, loved seeing it, actually. Just like really, really beautiful and lovely. Yeah, big fan. I don't know if I can go A+ for Mesmer, but I would say it's a solid upper A tier for me. Yeah, really, really like it. River Prowler, I feel belongs in B tier for the time being. Like these are, you know, good. It's quite, like, I like its look. Like I love, you know, that it sort of looks like a translucent fish. It's, yeah, design wise, perfectly serviceable design, you know. But I can't put it higher than that. I don't think it's interesting enough to go higher than that. Sand Shark. I'm actually inclined for, I might change my mind as we go, but right now I actually want to put Sand Shark in A, because Sand Shark is a great little guy. Sand Shark gave me constant delight. Just it's hilarious movement, and it's snuffly sounds. You know, I love Sand Shark. It's no way an A+. If anything, it might be like 2/3 of the way down in A tier, but like I think this is delightful. I think Sand Shark is delightful. Big fan. Stalker. Stalker is giving me... Ooh, I feel, again, that Stalker is so iconic. It's probably got to be an A tier. But to be honest, I'm not feeling A plus at all. But this is really, I think it is pretty, I think it's iconic. And I think that they kind of become, you know, they're one of the very, if you're going through Subnautica, like, you know, starting with Subnautica 1 and then going to below 0, Stalker is going to be one of the very first things that attacks you. Stalker is going to be one of the first things that scares you. And on top of that, I would say that they then become they become almost like your, how can I put it? They almost become like your Team Rocket. They almost become like your Team Rocket, i.e. like your baddies that become like friends, you know, like they become your home baddies. And they're also delightful. They play, like, one of the most delightful experiences I had in original Subnautica was realizing, like, having the experience of all the way of having so going so far through the game and going, why are my cameras all kind of screwed up? Like, what's going on? Why can't I see anything in them properly? And then eventually realizing it was because the stalkers were picking them up and playing with them. Incredibly freaking cute and delightful. So Stalker for me is a solid A tier. Kind of similar reasons to Sandshark. Like, actually, just I like them. They're almost like a comfort baddie, and they give me a lot of delight, a lot of good laughs, a lot of good times with them both. Warper, like Warper's an incredible creature. So one of the enduringly thrilling and scary, creepy, like such a well-designed creep going into the Warper. Mystery as well. This is the first one where I'm questioning, do I want to go S tier for Warper? Because it's freaking strong. It's definitely between these two. Like, it almost seems crazy to have Warper. Warper with crab squid doesn't seem crazy. Warper with crashfish might seem a little bit crazy. It could be an S tier. It's very, very good. And of course, like, you know, huge, like the way that it's got such a large role in the actual story. You know, we get like amazing lore reveals with the Warpers. The creepy the creepy messages that we get from the Warpers. It could be an S tier. I don't know. Again, I would say it's an S tier probation for me. Great design, great visual design, great role in the story. Legitimately remains very freaky for the vast majority of the game. And, you know, like the fact that it actually warps you is not only scary, but is actually sometimes useful. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, when I got like kind of glitched into the sort of the nether regions underneath a building at one point, I think I at least tried to use a warper to actually get myself out of it. I can't remember if it was successful or not. Maybe you'll remember. Okay, Bludderfish is instant A+, instant A+ for me. It's just, this is my guy right here. This is my guy. Bludderfish, I've survived on you in so many different ways. I think its design is lovely. Its design is beautiful. I love it. I love seeing, you know, just the visual of like a school of bludderfish in an area. Like that makes me happy. I think it's pretty. It's a beautiful color. It's gotta be. I don't think I tried holding in my character's hand every single creature in the game. In both games, I definitely didn't. But I did. Bludderfish was the first thing I noticed that with. And I can imagine that if I did try everything, Bladderfish would still be one of the most hilarious things that you actually have in your hand at any one point. And then on top of the fact that bladderfish becomes, I eventually realized, it took me a very long time, but I eventually realized, I think maybe even into the second game, I think maybe into Below Zero, at some point very late in my Subnautica journey, I realized, like, you know, actually bladderfish are also amazing for survival on the go. You know, this is a great on the go source of oxygen as well. So I think it's an easy A+ tier for me. Boomerang, I love it, but it's probably, I think it's B for boomerang. Boomerang is B for me. Just, you know, good, not great, but not bad. Like them. I like them. The little glowy tips, very nice. Crimson Ray, I'm a big fan of the rays. I would say the ray family is gonna typically end up pretty high here, but I would say maybe the Crimson Ray is the C. It could be the lowest of the rays for me. Just not, you know, very good design for the area, makes sense, but just not a standout for me. I knew where this one was going to go. Immediately, Cuttlefish. Look at these two. Cuttlefish is clear ST for me. I'm not worrying about it. This one is not moving from this tier. Cuttlefish is one of the most wonderful and amazing things in both games for me. I mean, it's not in both games, but like across both games, the Cuttlefish discovery, the mystery of it, you know, like, and the relationship that we have with Cuttlefish, pure freaking delight. Pure delight. I love Cuttlefish. Cuttlefish is my buddy. Cuttlefish are my buddy. Cuttlefish are my family. My family belongs on S tier. There's no doubt about it. S tier, Cuttlefish, I love you. I want to spend some more time with Cuttlefish right now. I is going somewhere here for me. It's good. I love in any game, I love a creature that's made out of a single eye. I think that's always a good design, but it's not exceptional. You know, it's solid. It's a nice solid thing. Gary Fish for me. I love Gary Fish. Gary Fish is an A. Gary Fish is not an A+ or an S. It's not that special, but like, you can't go wrong with a fish that looks like this, you know, that looks like it's from SpongeBob, and it's called Gary Fish. I mean, you know, it is a reference to SpongeBob, right? Like, everything about it is perfect. I love Gary Fish. Gary's my bud. Gary's an A. Gasopod, Gasopod is either an A or an A+ for me. I love them. They're the manatees, you know? They're lovely, friendly dudes, guys, ladies, you know? Big fan of the Gasopod. Yeah, if there was a tier in between here, it would definitely go there. It's an upper A or a lower A+ for me, Gasopod. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to say Gasopod. Gasopod is A+. And one of the reasons is because I'm still paying penitence. I am still at this stage, and I will always be. For the rest of my life, I am still paying penitence to the Gasopod community for the terrible mistake that I made with a Gasopod early on when I didn't realize how to get that I could still pick up the little gas pods. So yeah, Gaspod A+, Gaspod A+, that feels right. Ghost Ray, this might be one of the most Rebecca decisions. Ghost Ray is one, I think Ghost Ray is actually an S tier for me. I adore it. It's one of the most beautiful, I love rays. Rays are always going to be very high for me. Rays are always going to be very high for me. Is it S or A+ though is the question for me. It's one of the two. Like the fact that I'm even like, I have very high regard for the glowing, you know, the glowing, like the colors of it, the glowing blue and the glowing pink. Mwah! Absolute chef kiss. This was I think like the first time I was really going to town with a build and going, I'm going to make a stunning home for myself in this game. The first time I was really doing like a proper, let's make a great place kind of base, you know. I would say 2 of the occasions, you know, across both games when I've done that, it's Ghost Rays and Jelly Rays. I think wherever they go, they belong together. It might be a little bit more the Jelly Rays for me, but I think for the time being, I'm gonna go up here. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we evolve with S tier over time. But yeah, this feels right. This feels right to me. These are just favorites. These are just Rebecca favorites from these games. These are the things I want 100,000 of around my base. You know, this is a huge ingredient of a great base experience for me. Whole fish, man. B tier is getting big, isn't it? B tier is getting big. Whole fish is perfectly good. I'm just a little bit wondering if I might slip down to C tier. Just because I don't think much about whole fish. Yep, I just don't think much of it. Hoopfish, however, I think purely it's a super cool design. Like, it's a cool idea. A fish within its own hoop. So, like, that's just kind of cool, right? But it's also beautiful. It's very beautiful. It's lovely. If I see a big bunch of whole fish in the environment around me, I don't know if I think very much about that. If I see a big bunch of hoopfish in the environment around me, that's stunning. That's stunning. I think based on that alone, you know, these two have to be sort of separated out. Hoverfish. I think I kind of just love what hoverfish does. I just kind of love, like in real life as well. I can't remember what you call them. Like the little pond skimmers that, you know, this design is based on. I just think that's amazing. I'm very tickled with this kind of creature. I think it's great. And so, yeah, I think this is a good B tier. It's not above B tier because it's not, you know, it didn't make a bigger impression on me than that. But I think my love of this style of creature in reality, I think it's got to go here. Magmarang, I'm already feeling like probably, unfortunately, quite a lot of the magma area things might find their way down here. It seems to be the trend, right? You know, I don't like Magmarang as much as I like Boomerang, so I think that's the proper place. I do really like Oculus. I just do. I think this big pink eye and the coloring of it is it's good. It's really good. This is a really good one. This one is so good that I could maybe, all right, here's something I haven't bothered doing yet is like, am I going to do within tier? Within tier. Yes, I am. Like, why not? Why not? I think if I were going to do that, it might look a little something like this for B tier. Like, Oculus is so good, I would put Oculus at the front of B tier. If I'm going to do this for the others, Cuttlefish top so far. And I'm going to put the Rays above Warper. And maybe that seems insane to most people, but for Rebecca's tier list, really love these Rays. Really love them. Crab Squid's probably got to go. I think I've just kind of it's ridiculously iconic. I would never in my life forget that I love Bladderfish. I think Bladderfish goes there. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. For this one, this might actually be sort of in the right order. Yeah, I think crab snake, crab snake's got to be at the front of this list so far. And then probably something. Yeah, I don't know. Probably something along these lines. You know what? It's a ray. Let's put it at the top just for being a ray. Peeper is, for me, Peeper is 100% one of the most iconic Subnautica creatures. It's the perfect iconic design. You cannot beat this design for like the standard creature across the games. There must always be Peeper. If Subnautica 2, and don't let me know because I'm not looking anything about that game up whatsoever. If Subnautica 2 doesn't have some kind of Peeper in it, I'm just deleting it. it goes in the trash. No, it doesn't, but it better have freaking Peepers in it anyway. This is Subnautica. Peeper is Subnautica. Peeper probably belongs in S tier for that reason. I think it does. I think Peeper's too iconic to not go in S tier. It's not in S tier for the same, none of these things are in S tier for the same reason. Like, I personally just really love these ghosty, glowy rays. Cuttlefish is my family. Cuttlefish is my child. That's why Cuttlefish is here. Warper is one of the best villains of the game. A villain and a victim, let's say. But definitely one of the best. Peeper is Subnautica. Peeper just is Subnautica. Peeper is Subnautica. S tier. For the time being, until I change my mind. Yeah. Rabbit Ray is very good. Rabbit Ray is very good. I think this is a very solid design. It's a ray. It's got lovely colors in it. Its movement is beautiful. It is very, like, again, the animation makes an impression on me. I'm very happy to see a big bunch of rabbit rays around the place. I reckon it's probably just an A tier for me. I'm not even going to put it above Gary. I think rabbit ray goes here for the time being. Red Eye is definitely down here for me. Yeah, definitely down. I might actually flip the magma ring up a little. No, I can only do that. Yeah. I think that kind of feels a little bit right for me. Yeah, it's just, to me, this is just a worse II. It's just an II that's not as good. It's not as good. Reginald's 100% an A+. Reginald! One of my faves. This is a strong Rebecca fave. It's not a fave in the same way that the ghost rays and the jelly rays are, but it's great. Reginald is a great looking creature. I'm so happy every time I see Reginald. Its name alone gets it high ranking up here. Reginald is super iconic. It's not iconic in the same way that Peeper is, and it's not iconic in the same way that Bladderfish is. It might not even be Crashfish level iconic, but it's probably pretty close. It's pretty close. Like, I would imagine Reginald is very popular among most people, apart from, like, for the name, for the look, and also, of course, for how great a resource it is in the games. So it at least goes up here. Skyray is a very high ranking ray for me. I think I like Skyray. Skyray is, again, I mean, how many above ground creatures do we have? Not that many. That's not the reason I love it, but it's just like, this thing rules the freaking skies. Skyrays are one of the things, that makes being above ground in these games lovely. It fleshes out the entire above ground environment. On top of that, the pure, like, how exciting it is when one comes close to me is huge. And my memory of finally being able to fully scan a sky ray is incredible. They're beautiful. I think they're, you know, lovely design, very beautiful design, beautiful creature. I love the idea of them. When I did build a base above ground that I was kind of designing as more of a sort of an airy, you know, I knew I wanted it must be Skyray centric. It must be a Skyray base. So yeah, Skyray for sure. I think it belongs up here. Belongs up here with the A+ crowd. Spadefish is very good. This is also so good as a sort of a common Subnautica iconic creature, right? The question for me is, this one is starting to become very fine grained. I think Spadefish is a better design than Reginald. I think this is a more iconic design. But it's just that but Reginald is more meaningful to me as a creature. So to me, Spadefish either belongs somewhere here or maybe somewhere here. I gotta say, I'm feeling this spot. I kind of feel, and it is really just based on the design of it and how strong it feels as a character design. Like Stalker has a lot more meaning in the game, but Spadefish's actual visual design to me is a stronger design than Stalker. That doesn't mean that they need to be ordered that way, but I don't know, I'm sort of just feeling it. Sandshark is just too funny and hilarious. Like, that's kind of getting it above. Yeah. That's kind of getting it above. Mesmer isn't as meaningful to me as Sandshark even. However, I guess it's the fact that it has a very, very special and cool game experience that you get from Mesmer, on top of just how very pretty it is. I don't know. So I'm going with that for now. Spinefish is a very good regular fish that belongs in B tier for sure. I think I like, well, this kind of feels right? Spinefish and River Prowlers going together. And I think I might even put Spinefish above River Prowler, because I think like the compact, I don't know. I think like, yeah, I think a nice little compact skeleton fish is just a little bit perfect. Just a little bit perfect. Yeah, and the River Prowler is kind of just, to me, this is the big version of the Spinefish, not the other way around. So I think that makes a lot of sense there. Okay, the little jellies. An amoeboid. I guess there's not that much that you can do with them in the game. So it goes on B tier for me, but it is very pretty. It is very pretty. I actually think here, for me, I think it's sort of a little bit prettier than Ampiel. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Ancient Floater. For many of the same reasons, I think goes about here. It's a super cool entity in the games. It's a really cool idea. You know, like the first time I came across them, I was like, wow. You know, like, it's amazing to think about the environmental changes that come about through this thing. It has a stunning, mysterious look to it. It instills wonder for me. So for that reason, it's particularly strong. The amoeboid is really pretty, but it doesn't do very much. To me, the floater probably has to go at the front of B tier at least. And it might even make its way up here. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, because I would say part of it is that my expectation, like, I know that there's cool things you can do with the floaters that I haven't even tried in the game. I know that, you know, like you can use them to sort of, I think someone mentioned in the comments that somebody or that people use the floaters, that said Yeah, we have actual floaters. Yeah, so ancient float doesn't apply to ancient floater. Like, no, for that reason, I think ancient floater goes down here. I think we'll deal with that when we get to the floater. In fact, let's do it right now. The floaters, though, you know, are useful. And that makes them a bit more of an interesting entity within the game. So I'm probably going to go floater here. I think it just sneaks into A tier, maybe. But that said, I'm also going to say I don't really care very much about the floater on any huge personal level. So for that reason, I'm just going to put it ahead of the ancient floater. In fact, I'm even questioning that right now because the floaters are interesting, but I'm going to say I personally didn't make much use of them. Maybe if I did, I would change my mind about this. I think I'm going to put the ancient floater ahead of the floater because the ancient floater has just this, it gave me in-game an amazing moment of majesty. And that alone, just as a part of the environment, was, it created a really cool moment for me in the game. Bleeder is a cool addition to the game for me. I can't say I had a huge amount to do with them, but I do think it's got a kind of an interesting, unique dynamic. And I'm actually going to say I really like the design of it. I think it's got a better design than a lot of other enemies. I might, but it's not amazing. I just think it's a bit better. I might just put it above II here. Okay. Blood crawler. Very cool. Again, very cool, unique design. I probably didn't think too much about them in the game. I'm already feeling like I want to put Bone Shark a little bit lower, to be honest. I might put Bleeder a little bit above Bone Shark. I'm feeling bad for Bone Shark, to be honest. Blood Crawler, yeah, it didn't really have too much to do with it. I think it's a really nice addition to the environment. It might just go here just for how cool its design is. Yeah, I think it might go there because this is very cool. Like, I love the big spindly legs. Cave Crawler to me, I think actually has to become an A tier because I had so many amazing experiences with the Cave Crawler. The Cave Crawler gave me for me personally in my playthrough, super iconic moments. I will always, in my whole life, I will always remember the first moment that I ended up on land. It was a stellar, crazy making, mind-bending moment for me. And I feel so blessed. I feel so lucky the insane way that it all went down. And in that moment where I discovered that there was land and I was on the land, I had just been chased by a Reaper Leviathan. I couldn't get back to my vehicle because warpers were poking their heads out and looking at me while I was standing on the shore, which was freaking me the hell out. I didn't know if they were like warlocks or something like that. And then on top of that, I was introduced to, I was getting bitten, by the cave crawler. Amazing. Yeah, really, so great. Really great creature. Like it's doing a solid job in this game. It's an interesting little guy. I might just put it one below Gary. The lava. I really don't know what to think about this one, and maybe for that reason it's a C tier, because I just don't feel like I have very much. Yeah, I don't really think I have many thoughts on them, and maybe that alone kind of puts it down there. Rock grub, so good. I love the rock grub. The rock grub is a tiny A tiny little guy. You've got to love, like, this is one of the few things that, you know, it's not a microscopic creature by any means, but it's almost like it belongs in the game, it belongs in some kind of slightly micro category. You know, like, it's teeny tiny guy. It's teeny tiny guy. On top of that, beautiful and glowing. It literally is an environmental enhancement to have it around the place. On top of that, it took me, again, a very long time, but I will always remember the time I realized I could actually, like, scan them and pick them up. You know, like, this was, because I had just thought that they were a part of the environment and that sort of thing wouldn't apply to them. So rock grub is a really, really nice part of the game for me. It belongs in A tier for absolute sure. But where does it belong? I'm gonna at least put it above cave crawler. At least. I think actually it belongs to go above Gary. I love Gary, but I think I have a bit more personal, like, there's a bit more for me, a bit more personal experience and personal meaning associated with rock grub. Yeah, I think that's where it belongs for now. Shuttlebug. What a weird little thing. The shuttlebug feels like an enemy. It feels like a creature. Like, it's so ubiquitous and it's really interesting. Its movement is really interesting. Its design is really interesting. It feels like you should be able to do more with it in the game, but you can't. So, a little bit for that reason, I like it, but I can't put it that high. Hey, Pixie! Hey, Pixie! He's just woken up from a nap. He's been sleeping in his cat tree. He's been sleeping in the little bit at the top of the cat tree. It's like a little tiny house. We call it his penthouse. He's been sleeping in the penthouse. I might put Shuttlebug sort of here-ish. Yeah. Now, we're getting... Look at this. Look at what we have in front of us right here. All right. These are... This is the big stuff, right? Ghost Leviathan. S tier. 100%. This is where I'm starting to question, like, who should be in the lead. Ghost Leviathan, I think, you know, look, Cuttlefish is my child, is my family. Ghost Leviathan is definitely not my family, but Ghost Leviathan, one of the most iconic, just totally grandly iconic in the Subnautica series. Of course it has to go here. This thing has put the fear of God in me so many times and probably continues to do so. Probably, you know, I would jump back into the game now and this thing would still scare the absolute crap out of me. It sound like this whole thing, this whole design in the head is very, like, it's perfect design. It's freaky little mouth. It's coloring, you know, I'm a big fan of the ghostly, glowy color. And I have 100 incredibly memorable experiences with Ghost Leviathan, and I imagine everybody does. Everyone has their own book of stories about Ghost Leviathan. Ghost Leviathan belongs at the front here. Right up until this moment, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how I'm really curious about how you would think about this, but for me, although I think the Ghost Leviathan is a bit prettier, and I might even have more scary experiences with the Ghost Leviathan just because I was in more places. I think I was probably a little bit more exposed to Ghost Leviathan. However, Reaper Leviathan to me is queen. Reaper is queen. Reaper is queen of Subnautica. The same way that Peeper is the quintessential regular enemy in Subnautica, Reaper is the iconic Leviathan in Subnautica. Across all of Subnautica. Whether it's in any more games or not, it doesn't matter. To me, this will always be the Reaper Leviathan's head. It is a perfect, I'm saying this word a lot, but like, it really is like, I wouldn't touch a thing on this design This design, I would never have thought of it. I would never have thought about the things that this creature's design has going on with it. Like these kind of this cross of like mandibles coming out. I think it's inspired. I don't know what it's based on. This giant horn-like protrusion from the head is incredible. It's an iconic red. All together, these different parts, they make this thing. The Reaper design has so many terrifying design aspects going on all at once, and therefore it is pure terror. The fact that it's designed as a giant, small-brained muscle, like a pure muscle fish, is incredible. Like with its massive design, everything about the Reaper is exactly as it should be. And if you were ever going to slap a single image on any Subnautica game, or if you were doing any Subnautica branding, to me, this is what you put at the front of it. The design works so well to be completely unique. I can't think of anything that's like this for me in reality or in other creature designs in movies or games or anything I can think of. This is Subnautica. Reaper Leviathan is Subnautica. Reaper Leviathan is beautiful. Reaper Leviathan is queen. Reaper Leviathan is everyone's major terror in this game as far as creatures go. So 100% the top of S tier. At the moment, I can't imagine anything knocking this off. Reefback is fully A+. Fully A+ for me. Maybe it could be an S tier, but the Reefback is the beautiful, lovely cattle of original Subnautica. It's my first Leviathan. It's the first Leviathan probably a lot of people come across. And I was scared of it before I realized I needn't be. Yeah, it's got a lot going on. The fact that it's land, it's a creature and it's also land, is amazing. And just, it was pure comfort for me in the game. Whenever I heard the Reefback Leviathan, if I could see it was around, I knew I was okay. And maybe I was wrong about that sometimes, but it gave me the feeling I was okay. For that reason, it's at least here. It's got to be above Crashfish for me. This one. Sea Dragon Leviathan is also, it's iconic in its own way, but here's what I'm going to say about this, and I think it's probably one of the first things I said about it after the initial holy shit sort of reaction. This is such a weird, awkward design for me. I love it. Like, I will always love it. It's such a this is a weirdo creature. This is a completely bizarre, weird design. But the weirdness of its design is both an asset and a disadvantage, because it's an asset because it's very memorable. It's so strange, but it's also awkward. It's an awkward design that takes away from the terror of it. This is very Muppety for me, very Muppety. But I'm not sure that it really. I like it. Like I like that it is that. But I guess it's not. It doesn't inspire terror in the same way that the Reaper Leviathan does. Functionally, it does in the game. Like, you have to be afraid of this thing. It's dangerous, but yeah, I think that the design puts it in a very strange place between terror and comedy. It's a very strange design for me. For that reason, it can't go too high, but it can't go too low either. So this one is tricky. This one is tricky. To me, it doesn't belong up here. It doesn't belong up here with the A+. I just don't have that high a regard for it. But it is very iconic. So I think it's got to go above Cave Crawler. Its design, the aspects of its design that are awkward are keeping it lower. I might put it below Gary, because Gary's such a great design. I might put it here, actually. Okay. Sea Emperor Leviathan baby, 100%. It's going up in A+. This is an important character. And this was discovering them was one of the great pure joys of the game. The only reason I think I'm not going to put it in S tier is because as much as they represent something incredibly important in the game, and something, I'm just going to have a sip of tea. Something really important in the game, and emotional moments with Sea Emperor Leviathan baby. Really cute. I love them. I guess the only thing sort of holding me back from going too high with them is just that they're really such an end game thing for me. So they don't become a part of the overall, of the majority of the game experience for me. There's something I discover very late, and so therefore I have a fairly short experience with them. So I might go end of A+, actually. I think for that same reason, the juveniles, yeah, I think that the juveniles kind of have to go here. Like, experiencing the juveniles is its own very, very exciting moment in the game. Very exciting, but yeah, I don't know. There's no real reason to put one ahead of the other. I think they go together. Sea traders, obviously. Sea traders, I just like calling them sea traders because that's how I started calling them, or I at least made that mistake several times. So they're sort of the sea traders for me now. Sea traders are to me, belongs with Reefback. I might put it just below Reefback because this is my homie. Reefback is my homie. Reefback is my home comfort. Sea Treader is a beautiful, amazing, pure majestic. This is so much like the iconic creatures from Dark Crystal, from the movie Dark Crystal. If you know that creature, you know exactly what I mean. For that alone, extremely majestic, very interesting creature within the game. Very lovely, very likable. Hey, Pixie. My little S+++ tier pixel is here. Hey, Baba. Did you wake up from a sleepy? Yeah. Did you have a nice sleepy in the penthouse? Yeah. Back to the sea traders. Yeah, but I think just because I spend way more time with Reefbacks, so I think we'll put it there. Arctic Ray. Arctic Ray belongs with all my other top rays. My top rays here. I might just put it below these two rays. But I don't know, like it's really good. I don't know how to. I love them all so much. I don't know who would go where. I might just go with this for the time being, but these three belong together. These are all, soon as I discovered these, I was like, I need thousands of them. I need thousands of them where I'm going to live. It's as simple as that. They're just stunning. They're stunning and I love them. Brine Wing, I really don't feel like I had too much to do with Brine Wing in this game. But I like it. I think it's a very cool idea, and it definitely gave me some really fun experiences of going, what the freaking hell just happened to me. The Brine Wing, I think, might be a strong B. And I think I might, yeah, maybe somewhere here for me. It's a cool design, but I probably don't think about them very much. I probably don't think about them very much in the game. I think there makes sense for me. Brute Shark. Honestly, probably feeling relatively bone sharky. Yeah, I don't know if I have any real feelings otherwise, so I think these might kind of go together for me. Okay, Cryptosuchus. Cryptosuchus, not the best design. Like as in, you know, doesn't make an enormous impression on me. It's very chaotic. Cryptosuchus is chaos, and that's a blessing. Like that's a big plus for it. The Cryptosuchus is kind of hilarious. It's definitely scary early on in the game, early on in Below Zero, and does remain scary for a little bit. It's the fact that it's such a little. It's not little, but it kind of is a funny little weirdo. You know what I mean? It kind of is a funny little weirdo. I have to for its weird motion. Its weird chaotic motion makes it sort of muppety in a way that I find quite delightful. I might put it here. Yeah, I think that works for me. Newtfish. Newtfish goes in A tier for sure. I love Newtfish. Newtfish is a fabulous design. It's a Muppet in all of the best ways, and it's a very iconic. It's pretty iconic. I'm going to say it's not as iconic as Spadefish, but it's a pretty good iconic design. So I think it belongs very close to Spadefish. However, I think we have to give proper respect to Stalker. Stalker is just, you know, Stalker is so iconic. In fact, I might need to rethink this for that reason. In fact, I will. I think Stalker belongs up here. I think I've got to be realistic. I think Stalker belongs above Sandshark. Sandshark is a wonderful little guy, but Stalker is, again, it's such an iconic creature in original Subnautica. I think it belongs... I think it belongs up here. I think it belongs with Crabsnake, and I think that's alright. I don't think Mesmer should beat Stalker. And now these two are together. That feels alright. I'm happy with that. Pingling. Hang on, let me get both of these two. Let's deal with them together. Pingling. Okay. No doubt, you know, I think the developers are right to put the Pingling and the Pingwing on the title screen of Subnautica Below Zero. They are. Again, this works very well as an iconic creature. They work very well as an iconic creature for that game. Quintessential, makes sense for the theme of Below Zero. Very unique, interesting design. The freaking mouth opening on the top of the head, incredible. The fact that you have these two creatures that have a relationship, and there's interesting things that you can do with them. And I don't think I even did all of the interesting things that you could do with them, because I was always afraid of taking the babies away. So I don't think I ever tried that because I felt that it was wrong. But anyway, so I think this is a really, you know, this deservedly an iconic, very iconic, you know, part of the Subnautica Below Zero branding. Penglings they're both adorable. Penglings are especially adorable, and the fact that it has this larger role within the story and within the mechanics of the game has to rate highly. But that said, I don't have a personal love for them. You know, the same way that I have a very personal love for cuttlefish, and I have a very personal love for, like, the, you know, glowy rays and things like that. I have a very personal love for reefback leviathan and bladderfish. I just don't have that same love for them. So I probably... I think for the time being, I'm kind of thinking here. Don't know, like below rock grub, below Garyfish, I'm not sure. But they're a billion times a better design than Sea Track and Leviathan. A billion times better. Yeah. Don't know. I'm not sure. They could go higher. They can't go lower, they could go higher. Pinacarid. just purely for how pretty the movement is, I think above Rabbit Ray. Yeah, I think the movement is lovely. They're extremely pretty. They're very interesting little things. I didn't have very much to do with it, and so for that reason, I'm not going to put it above the Cave Crawler. But yeah, but solid A tier. Rock Puncher as well. Honestly, I think belongs in A tier in about the same sort of spot because it's super cool. It's a super cool freaking design. It's a super cool idea for a creature. Like, it does feel like it's the kind of, it's a big boxer with boxing gloves. And I think its design is especially cool. Especially cool. The coloring. I think the coloring, hang on, let me say, it punches above its weight as a design based purely on the coloring. If it wasn't this color, if it didn't have this great glowing like red and orange gradient, I don't think it would go here. For that reason, I might put it here. And there's something that just clicks in my mind and I quite like about these two being next to each other because of the style of creature that they are. So let's do these two together. Snowstalker and Snowstalker Baby. I seriously think a really great addition to Below Zero because of how much of Below Zero occurs, you know, in the snow on the land. These things are a great part of the experience of Below Zero for absolute sure. They scared the bejeebies out of me. Really hard to deal with until I figured out a great way of dealing with them. So yeah, like there are like so, you know, you can't get away from the fact that a lot of the Subnautica experience is having terror instilled in you by the creatures. These things do this very effectively. I mean, at least the Snowstalker does. I cannot rate it above Stalker because to me this is too quintessential and too important as something in Subnautica. It's prettier, for absolute sure. This is a prettier design than the Stalker. But Stalker just has too much of a special place in my heart. And, you know, sometimes you just can't get away with that. It was the original, you know? It was the original. Yeah. So how do I think about you in relation to the Penglings? A bit lower than Pengling. Maybe above Rock Puncher. Just for the amount of terrifying fun that you have with them. Yeah, that kind of feels right to me. Oh my god. Spiky Trap. Spiky Trap. Where do you belong? Spiky Trap might have been such a thrilling, freaking addition to Below Zero. I think it makes it into A+ for me because this thing scared the absolute crap out of me and it scared the absolute crap out of me in a unique way. It was a unique kind of scary crap, let's say. This was an experience like no other. I still don't feel confident in, near, or around them at all. And yeah, I think it's kind of special. I think it's a special creature that's doing something nothing else is doing. I might put it at the bottom of A+. However, as I sit here right now, I'm feeling like I don't want Crab Snake to be below Spiky Trap. Hey, Pixie! You got zoomies? You got zoomies. So I'm thinking about doing a little edit here. I think I've decided Crab Snake goes in A+. I think I adore the Crab Snake. I adore everything about the Crab Snake. And maybe Spiky Trap belongs down here. And maybe Spiky Trap... has to go below Stalker, because I think we need to pay proper respects to Stalker. And I think now that I'm elevating Crab Snake up here, it could even go higher. All right, let's go with this for now. Spiky Trap, I'm sorry, I was really solidly thinking A+, and I've demoted you, but no, you're very good. All right, now this one definitely belongs in A+. This, Squid Shark to me is a Leviathan. Squid Shark for me might not be labeled as a Leviathan, but to me this is more Leviathan than in fact, let's bring it up here because I want to talk about these two next to each other. Chelicerae to me is one of the less interesting Leviathans of all of them. And I got far more terror out of Squid Shark. Squid Shark is incredible, actually. I really think Squid Shark is pulling an enormous amount of the weight of scares in Subnautica Below Zero. So Squid Shark, I think, the design of it is crazy. I can't say that this is like, I wouldn't say this is like I would say Crab Snake is a very beautiful, elegant design. If this was a real creature that existed, I would believe it. And I'm not, this is based on obviously no knowledge of biology or anything like that. But like, there's something beautiful and elegant in its design. Where I could, if I saw, a photo of a creature that looked like this, I would be like, yeah. If I saw a photo of a creature that looked like this, I would think I had died. Like this can't be. Maybe in the very deepest, even possibly in the Mariana, is it the Mariana Trench? Like the deepest parts of the ocean where the absolute weirdos live. No, this is a child's drawing. This is a child's drawing. But it is a perfect child's drawing creature. It's perfect. Like, I think that we should have, creatures in Subnautica that look like this, that look like a kid went, what if you take a shark and then it's got, like a crazy squid-like mouth of terror that opens up, like that blasts open in front of you, that is like an eldritch horror. It has an eldritch horror face that bursts out of it, alien-like, or not alien-like at all, but, in the same sort of scary way. And then why not, for good measure, it's got like, power lines coming off the back of it. Squid Shark is a perfect crazy terror drawing creature. And my actual experience in the game of Squid Shark, it gave me so many scares. So many good times with Squid Shark. For that reason, I'm actually going to put Squid Shark a bit higher. I think it's a really strong... one. I kind of just love how ridiculous it is. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of... There's a lot I admire about it. It doesn't have the same meaning to me, like the same warmth and love. I have warmth and love for Reefback Leviathan. I don't have that for Squid Shark, but obviously I have it's delightful in its own way. I think it's amazing. I think it's one of the stronger, one of the scariest. It might even be the scariest thing. Am I going to say that? Is it the scariest thing for me in Below Zero? It could have been. Pretty strong. Symbiote probably belongs roughly with Biter. Cool little design, and I love the relationship that it has with, let's do Wholefish at the same time, hey? Wholefish is a very strong design for me, very strong. So for me, I think Wholefish actually belongs in A tier. Really unique, really interesting. When I build bases, it's one of the things that I enjoy having around my base. Like, it's a cool Holefish is a cool dude, right? Holefish is a cool, you know, Holefish is like a great staple guy, you know, to have. Like, if I were worried living in my base under the ocean, I would look to Holefish and I would think I would feel okay, you know. So Holefish, I think in itself is definitely an A tier. Maybe a symbiote is somewhere here, I think. Potentially above Biter just because of, you know, this relationship. And it's a kind of a cool design for sure. Biter, I think, is a better design, actually. I think Biter is a better design. But Holefish, I think, maybe belongs here for me. Yeah, I think belongs here for me. Arctic Peeper. Arctic Peeper, honestly, is a really strong Peeper. It is not as good as original Peeper. It's very pretty though. Like, it's a great, like, it truly is, I think, it is a great, it's the perfect Peeper for the second game. It's the perfect Peeper for Below Zero. It's doing its job perfectly well. Saying that it's not as good as original Peeper is no diss to Arctic Peeper. I think it's the perfect Peeper to come after Peeper. It works in the game perfectly well. It's just simply not as iconic for me. So Peeper belongs down here. Oh, hang on. What? I was talking about. Oh man, Chalicerate. Let's go back to Chalicerate. Chalicerate doesn't belong down here. I was going to compare it to Squid Shark. I dealt with Squid Shark and then forgot about it. But that's kind of the thing with Chalicerate for me. It's just a bit of a forgettable Leviathan. Genuinely terrifying. Like, I really never wanted to go near this thing. But also, it's just sort of lacking, you know, like, if you are poor Chalicerate, if you're doing it the disservice of comparing it to something like the Reaper Leviathan or even the Ghost Leviathan, it is just, it's almost a failed Leviathan opportunity for me. Like, it's an interesting idea, but its idea is not. It's scary because of what it does in the game, but its design isn't scary enough for me. I think, like, yeah, when you compare, you know, it's probably doing the job that Ghost Leviathan did in the first game, and I think I think Chalicerate for me, because it should have so much of a bigger presence and it doesn't, belongs down here. I haven't put anything in D tier, probably because I'm being too nice. Could potentially see it in D tier just for that. Maybe we'll chuck a couple of things in there at the end. Arrow Ray. Oh, hang on. And so Arctic Peeper, therefore. It definitely belongs in A+. I'm not really sure where in A+. Probably above Leviathan babies. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then we had Arrow Ray. Arrow Ray's a nice design. It's nothing to write home about for me. So, yeah, it's good enough. Discus fish, love. Actually, like, love. One of my favorite small fish. This is a superb, beautiful design. I love everything it has going on about it. This discus fish comes straight from mod fashion. You know, it's a really good. And when I have tanks to fill in a base, this is one of the things I love to fill them with. Big fan of discus fish. Similarly, featherfish, these two belong together. They're very, very strong. Very strong. Yeah. I don't know which one to put above the other. Maybe just slightly discus fish because I love this unusual design of it. Red featherfish, not as good as featherfish. I might put that about here. Yeah, I like it. In fact, I might put it here. Yep, I think it belongs there for me. Lily Paddler. Lily Paddler's so good. Lily Paddler is so good. It's in one of the best environments, probably one of the best environments across both games, I'm going to say. Lily Paddler is, and it's very unique. It's very interesting. It is stunning. I'm happy every time I see them. Probably didn't have a huge amount to do with them, but really like them. Really like them. So, could go. It's probably, yeah, it goes below Mesmer for me simply because I probably like the design of it maybe even better than Mesmer. But Mesmer gives you a really interesting, cool experience. And, you know, it scares the crap out of me. Lily Paddler. I just don't, I think these ones are just more, I have more of a relationship with them. I reckon it could go, I'm going to put it just below Wholefish. Yeah, I'm going to put it just before Wholefish. Okay. Sea Monkey. Hang on. Sea Monkey goes. Sea Monkey might belong, I think Sea Monkey belongs in S tier. It's either bottom of S tier or high up in A plus tier because it's a good design. It's a very good design. It's pretty iconic. I would say it's among the iconic creatures of Below Zero. But then there's just the relationship you have with Sea Monkey is amazing. Obviously at some point they get annoying, but they also gave me far more delight than they were annoying. The fact that they give you little presents, I mean, come the freaking hell on. It at least belongs at the bottom of S tier. I love Sea Monkey. Sea Monkey was a real delight. I'm going to say, I don't think I ever found a Sea Monkey baby, did I? I don't think I ever did. I found eggs. But didn't the eggs just hatch into sea monkey? I can't remember now, but I think if there were sea monkey babies to find, I don't think I found them. So for that reason, I mean, I've got to say, like, sea monkey is strong and its baby therefore has to get some props, but I might just put it there just because I never found them. It looks cool. I like it. I'm gonna put it, that feels fine to me. Spinnerfish. Spinnerfish are I'm gonna go above discus fish. Discus fish is a better design just as a flat image visually, I think, than spinnerfish. But spinnerfish are to me what creates a disco environment. And when I was trying to create a disco themed base, many spinnerfish, loads of, I basically, like, if I see a spinnerfish, I often just try to collect it because I would love as many of them as possible. I think they make an environment delightful. Now, Trivalve is an interesting one. It is not as good as Cuttlefish, but it's very interesting. I don't have the relationship at all that I have with Cuttlefish with Trivalve, but purely on, there's two things that are deciding this for me, or two things in the plus column. One is just really interesting design. Like, I love it. This is a creature that you take notice of. You know, you're like, what? It's very unusual and it looks like an alien. The coloring and the line work on it is super interesting. Super interesting. So I got to give it that. On top of that, I would say I had one of my most interesting moments was finding the egg of Trivalve. And eggs aren't a part of this. I would love to sort of, talk about egg design. But I'm going to include it here because finding the egg of this was one of the most baffling and interesting moments in my Below Zero experience. I loved it. And for that alone, I think probably here feels right to me. Yeah. All right. Eye jelly. Don't worry, you're not stopping here. I'm just scrolling up. Eye jelly, absolute S tier creature for me. This is one of the most beautiful, stunning, amazing things in every way. The design is so interesting, so unique. I would again argue very iconic, and like from every angle too, right? When you're looking at them straight ahead like this, wow, so interesting. They're glowing disco arms, the glowing purple lights on them. You know, this is why I created an entire base, more around the eye jelly than any other creature. I put loads of rays there as well, but this is, it's an eye jelly base. It's an eye jelly disco base. My disco eye Lycium base is one of my, one of the things that I was having visions of for a really long time, and I couldn't wait to make it. I knew as soon as I saw an environment full of these, I needed way more of them, and I needed to build an amazing base that basically just lets you look at the eye jelly as much as possible. The fact that they, as I was building that base, they're constantly like, often they're coming towards you and crowding around you. Amazing. It's a weird delightful stalking experience. When you look at them from above, the eye look is amazing. When you look at them from below, amazing. Every angle, amazing. Amazing creature. I love it. It goes here. It goes here for absolute sure. Huge fan. Hive mind, very pretty. I'm going to say I had very little to do with it. I don't really have a big personal relationship with it, but as an idea, and the first time that you see it, and every time you see it, it's lovely. The first time I saw it, I was like, wow. So for that alone, it probably goes about here. Probably goes here for me, actually. I think, yeah. Actually, I'm sorry to split the rabbit ray and the pinnacle grid up, because they feel like they go together, but yeah, that's where I'm going to put hive mind. Other than that, didn't really do too much with it. I really like the triops. I'm going to say I love, I think it's a really good Subnautica creature design. Hey, Pixie! Good boy! You doing, big mouse? I think this is a good Subnautica creature. It's not a creature that I spend a lot of time thinking about, but I like it. I might put it below the ocular. Hey! Hey, Baba! Good boy, Pixie. Yeah? You wanna see Mummy? Oh, he got zoomies. he's doing big pixel roars as he runs around. Oh my god. Oh, we're getting to some interesting ones. Okay. Glow whale. It doesn't go there. Glow whale 100. Glow whale is such a strong... This is a strong addition to the Subnautica family. I think the glow whale experience to me is magic in such a way that I think I got to put it above Reefback. The fact that, like, it is so magical to see. How can you go wrong with a pod of whales and then you give them like glowing horns and all of the other little light aspects on them? Like the whole concept of a glow whale is first and foremost very stunning. These things are, this is the reason I built my first below zero base where I did my first, non-original, like my first new base in the area that I did. It was to be glow whale bay. It was always, glow whale bay. It was the first thing that I wanted as a neighbor. So I think the glow whale, I got some real questions to ask about whether crab squid probably belongs up here, actually. Yeah. Man, A plus is changing. And I think I might have to do a little sifting here. Glow whale is very strong. Glow whale is very strong. I have such a personal relationship to bladderfish. I think it might belong here for me. But yeah, obviously then the whole, like, the magic of being able to ride it is incredible. And you can, what was the other thing? Like, you can pat its head. Oh, glow whale magic. It at least goes here. Ice worm, no doubt this is, I'm going to say, you know, this is a very important below zero experience. This is one of the things that makes, like, when you're above ground in below zero, you know, you need the snow stalkers. They're like the bears. They're the bears that are everywhere, and you're constantly getting attacked by bears, and you're constantly afraid of them, and you're running away from them and pulling out your flare constantly. Like, it's one of the things that makes the below zero experience, you know, insofar as the above ground parts of below zero are a big part of it. But the ice worm creates a completely unique experience that it has so much enormity, a whole different sphere of danger. Ice worm is doing what I wish, you know, Chelicerath was doing a little bit more of. Hi, darling. Are you doing big runnies? Boop. I boop your nose. Yeah, I boop your nose. Yeah. Good boy, Pixie. Good boy. Yeah, I think Iceworm is basically doing a really good job within that game. Like, the experiences that you have seeing this enormous thing and not being able to make sense of it, but knowing that it's going, you know, like, it can kill you at any second. It's amazing. It's an amazing creature. I don't have huge thoughts on its design otherwise. I think it's perfectly well designed for what it does, but I'm not in love with it, you know. So I think it deserves to be in A+ because it's doing a really good job. But I think I'm personally going to put it at the bottom of A+. Yeah, Pixie! Yeah, I kind of feel happy with that for the time being. Okay, alright. Let's deal with both of these together. I think that they need it. This is for sure. I got to put this in S tier. I've got to put both of them in S tier. Vent Garden is Vent Garden is one of the most amazing, incredible, mind-blowing experiences that I had in Below Zero. It is completely beautiful from every direction. The design is crazy. Like crazy beautiful, I mean. The design is stunning. I love it. I love the concept of it. It's such a fascinating, interesting concept with the game. The original one goes above the juvenile for absolute sure. But I might as well put them together because they're both, you know, they're both the same thing and they're both extremely delightful. I mean, I could put this much lower just because it you know, this makes up a huge part of my Below Zero experience. It's one of the best parts of my Below Zero experience for sure. Whereas this was also really, really exciting, but I just had much less to do it. But I'm just going to put them together. I'm just going to put them together because they're, you know, they're both great and they're both kind of the same thing. I love it. This is definitely S tier. This is one of the big S tiers of Below Zero for me. Love everything. And on top of that, even though I now know it didn't have to be where I found Spiral Plant, I'm so pleased that this is where I found Spiral Plant. So it was, I couldn't have, nothing else would have been as magical and perfect of an experience as going up. Like, I will, again, if we're talking about experiences that will stay with me for the rest of my life, it is deciding to go up the middle, go into the hole at the bottom of the vent garden, and just watching. It was like a truly Space Odyssey experience. It was amazing. This is the Space Odyssey experience of Subnautica for me. It has to go here. where it goes in relation to everything else is tough. Really tough, because there are so many different reasons why I have these things where I have them. There's no doubt to me, if I could have grown more vent gardens, I would have gone absolutely nuts with it. But I couldn't. Maybe I'm sort of a bit happy with that. I'm going to put Sea Monkey in between. Okay. Shadow Leviathan. Alright, this is an interesting one. Shadow Leviathan to me is a successful Leviathan for below zero, but not as successful as I wish it was. But I cannot deny pure terror from this thing. It's a cool idea. The mouth is very, very scary and disgusting, but also very cool looking, like a very cool glowy mouth. Legit so dangerous. So like this thing has more danger in it than it needed to have. It's ridiculous. It truly is so aggressive and hard to get away from a lot of the time. So I have to give it some big points for that. That said, it's nowhere. It's just simply nowhere near these two. Nowhere near. It doesn't belong in S tier, and I'm not sure really about my feelings. I'm a little questioning Iceworm actually as well, though I can't deny that it's a really Iceworm. It's like Iceworm as a creature doesn't hugely warrant A+ for me, but Iceworm as an experience is why it's here. Yeah, I don't know. I think it might belong here-ish for me. Void Chelicerae. I think I'm just gonna put it in D tier. Like, I mean, you know, like yeah. It's just the fact that the Chelicerae to me is lacking so much of what I wish a good Leviathan experience had. And then we've got Frozen Leviathan. This is a tough finish. What do I think about the Frozen Leviathan? Frozen Leviathan was... First off, I think I might have to put Sea Monkey Baby down a little bit, because I literally didn't meet it. I don't think it's really fair. Its height anywhere belongs to the fact that I love Sea Monkey so much. But I just didn't meet it, so I don't know if I can put it above other things. Frozen Leviathan. It's a really cool addition to the game. It's a really cool addition to the game. It's a very interesting discovery. But of course, like, you don't have that much to do with it. And I will say that I think, like, it's not really Frozen Leviathan's fault, but Frozen Leviathan, I suppose, is associated with a moment that I think should have been more in Below Zero. You know, I think, like, going there and having that moment where you neutralize the infection, I think it should have been a bigger moment than it was. It's not really Frozen Leviathan's fault, but Frozen Leviathan, yeah. Frozen Leviathan, the reason it's up here is I think it's a super cool discovery. It's a super cool discovery. I love that it's as huge as it is, and that, like, I love that we're left to imagine what the world of Frozen Leviathan was, like what their life and their history was. I like that about it. It might just kind of it might belong at the bottom of A tier for me. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I gotta say I'm pretty happy with that. It's a little bit hard to sort of decide, like, what really belongs at the bottom. But, you know, I'm more or less happy with this as a general sort of bottom. I think this really works as mid-tier for me. This is very solid, good top mid-tier for me. This is where we're starting to get to the stars that for very different reasons I think belong up here. And I think I gotta do this. Actually, this is what feels right to me. I think Stalker belongs next to Crab Snake at the very least. Just again, like this is a bro, you know, this is a sister. Yep. And I think the importance of Stalker goes above the importance of Iceworm. Iceworm very important in Below Zero, but I think Stalker very important in original Subnautica, and therefore very important in just Subnautica Subnautica's whole zeitgeist, you know? I think Stalker belongs here. And this is the S tier for me. This is the S tier. Probably maybe one of the most unusual things I'm doing, I can imagine more than other people, is putting my rays up here. But this is the Rebecca list, and they belong here 100% for me. Like I adore them. I adore them so much. Yeah, I think this is right. I think this works for me. I think this works. I always knew Reaper Leviathan was going to be number one. It just simply is perfect. Everything about Reaper is perfect. It is Subnautica. Ghost Leviathan is one step removed from being Subnautica as well. And Cuttlefish, one of the most delightful discoveries in the game. You know, this is my perfect, beautiful creature crew. Warper, also extremely iconic in its own. It's the iconic villain. Peeper is the iconic home guy. Crab Squid also, you know, belongs on the branding of Subnautica. Vent Garden, just for pure wonder, incredible experience. Yeah, and Sea Monkey, very special. Sea Monkey is almost like Sea Monkey is kind of Below Zero's Cuttlefish for me, actually. Yeah, just in a very different way. All right, there we go. Yeah, I'm really curious. What anybody thinks and how you might have changed this or things that you were surprised at. Anything at all like that. But there you go. That's two games worth of amazing creatures tiered. Tiered by the Rebecca perspective. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, see you in some other playthroughs, and see you eventually as the time you might be watching this later when I've already played it, but like for the time being when I'm recording, I have not played Subnautica 2. We're 100% gonna play it, but I just don't know when. Anyway, I'll see you there, and I'll see you in some other playthroughs. Thank you. Take care.